Hey there everybody, Gideon's Tactical here doing the in-depth review for you of the discontinued as of 2000, so this is a very old knife, Apache 2 by Crkt. This is an amazing EDC blade. I think it's an amazing knife. I stumbled across it and I'm really sad that Crkt has kind of strayed from this quality that they used to produce, because this is as we dive into this review, you're going to see how awesome this blade is. And they are still out there. They're still pretty accessible. If you just really look and maybe are patient, you might be able to find one or two. This one's brand new. You can get it in plain edge and serrated. Give you quick specs here. We're looking at a 3 1/4 inch blade. Looking at 4 1/4 inch handle. So you're looking at 7 1/2 inches overall length. And you're looking at a weight of 2.8 ounces. Super lightweight. So those are just the basic specs for you. This thing is just awesome. I'm loving it. I love it. Just stumbled across this, found it, and I purchased it because I read up on it and I was like, whoa, man, this thing is mean looking, looks super high quality. It is super high quality because, check that out, ATS 34 steel. If you never heard of that steel, that is super high-end steel. We're looking at a Rockwell hardness around 60 to 61. So even sometimes harder than 154 cm or S30V type of steels. Back in the early 2000s, late 90s, this was the steel that they used for super high-end blades. You don't find that too much anymore. Not that the quality's bad or anything like that. It's just a different type of steel that they don't really use a lot. You can still find some knives made with ATS 34, but not too many unless you're looking at discontinued knives. So going on to the blade construction and design, again, this is super high-end steel, and just the blade length is perfect, I think. 3 1/4 is perfect for EDC use, almost going over into tactical use. This one I don't think is quite tactical just because of some of the traction issues on the handle, but overall, I mean, just an amazing EDC blade. You're going to get so much work out of this knife. This one is the combo edge. You can get this in plain edge as well. Comes with a hollow grind. And I love the fact that this is 3/4 plain edge and 1/4 of the blade cutting edge is serrated. So I get mostly belly, mostly plain edge, but I do have a little bit of serration. You know, it's not like 50-50. I love, if I was to carry a serrated knife, and if you've watched some of my other reviews, I prefer plain edge. But if a serrated knife is what I was going to carry, this is the type of amount of serration I would want. 1/4 serrated, 3/4 plain edge. So great serrations too, not super aggressive and deep, so that's going to cut pretty well. And they're nice enough that you can definitely, resharpen those if you had to. Going to an awesome edge, super sharp, wicked sharp out of the box, to an extremely good piercing tip. You got this kind of double swedge here. So, I mean, that's going to pierce like nobody's business. Delicate tip, so I can definitely do some delicate work there, get in there. But, good thick blade overall for EDC use. The serrated has kind of a chisel grind. It's sharp on one side and comes down, and there's no bevel on the other. It just comes flat, straight down. The plain edge, I know, does have this dual-sided. This is one-sided edge, kind of a chisel grind right there on the edge itself. But just awesome for piercing, cutting open boxes, cutting rope, detail work. I mean, I can't complain about this knife blade design at all. Just awesome. Awesome. I love it. So let's go on kind of to deployment here. You got really smooth deployment. Very smooth. With a little bit of a wrist flick, you can get out there every time. It's not gritty or anything like that. You got a thumb stud that does have a little bit of jimping on it. Let's see if I can get that focus for you. There's a little bit of jimping on it. It is lower than the handle. I would have liked to see it at least level with the handle. Then it would have just given you a little bit more to purchase. I mean, never am I like missing it. It just is it's a little thumb stud, so you got to kind of make sure you're grabbing it good when you flip it out. I mean, I can do it all day without even thinking about it. I can grab it and go. And they did center it far enough away from the handle on the knife blade so I can put it right here and just slide up and just push up and boom, get it locked up without even flicking my wrist. So the thumb stud is kind of 50-50 for me. I mean, it's not bad. I've definitely seen worse thumb studs. I just would have liked to see it a little higher, then it would have been a little easier, and I could have hit it with my thumb kind of more like this versus I kind of have to go down like this just because of how small it is. I kind of have to angle my thumb like this versus just going straight up the blade kind of at more of a just natural angle. I kind of got to stick my thumb up a little bit when I flick it out. That's the only thing that I would say about that, but the deployment is nice and smooth. Whoa, missed that one there. Here we go. Nice and smooth deployment. Lockup. We got a liner lock design here. Hits that about 40%, 50% almost. So it hits the back right there. Locks up really nice for that liner lock. It is a little bit on the thin side. I would have liked to see that just a little bit thicker. And it only has a liner on one side. The rest of this is just aluminum handles that's not dual scaled or anything. That's how they cut down on the weight, which we'll get to in a second here. But overall, I mean, the lockup is great. There's no wiggle left or right or up or down. No wiggle or play whatsoever. And it's got enough jimping and it sticks up just enough, if you can see that there, so that I can grab it and I'm not having to like hunt and peck for it. I can just grab it, move it off to the side, folds right into place, whip it out, boom, locks up every time, doesn't miss, doesn't jam too far over. You don't get locked and caught up in there. I've had that happen to me on some of my older CRKTs that I had before I stopped buying almost any of them because they suck, most of them. That's just my opinion, but that's why I bought this knife, and that's kind of what we're getting to, particularly with the lockup. I hate their auto lock design, you know, LAWK that they produce, you know, with the extra little lever here. It's just super annoying to me, and it's just an added feature that I don't think is needed, and CRKT loves to do that. So I love the fact that with the older models, they didn't do that, and that's one of the main reasons why I purchased this, on top of the fact that it was discontinued, awesome design, made out of awesome steel. All those things added up to me purchasing this CRKT, because most of the time I will not buy a CRKT. It's very rare, and almost every CRKT you see on this channel will not have their locks designed because I can't stand it. I don't like it. I don't think it helps the knife at all. So that's the lockup. The lockup is great for what it is, an EDC blade. This is definitely not a tactical knife, and that's one of the other reasons why it just doesn't have a nice thick liner lock, as well as the tip is pretty delicate, and you may possibly chip that if you were pounding really hard over and over again into something. That's not to say you couldn't defend your life with it if you had to. This will definitely penetrate really well, but definitely more on the EDC than tactical. Let's go to the ergonomics of the lockup. Awesome. Look at this. That's how jimping's done, ladies and gents, right there. I mean, I'm going to say that that's almost better. Actually, I'm going to say it is. It's better than almost every Spyderco I've ever seen. And Spyderco knows how to do jimping. That is some jimping, folks, right there on both sides of this blade. Down here, up here, that's an awesome thumb ramp. Great jimping, fantastic lockup. And if I'm choking up like this, my fingers got it right here. I'm locked in right here. I mean, boom, I'm going to penetrate and stab all day long without any worries or quims whatsoever. This is going to be awesome. Great jimping. That's how you do jimping right there. So the lockup in that sense is awesome, and the ergonomics for holding this knife. Let's go on to handle design. The handle, this is where you get to the weight. Under 3 ounces, folks, for this large a knife is very rare. And with just the high quality, again, I mean, under 3 ounces. It's 2.8 ounces. And that's just awesome. I mean, you get that with these aluminum scales is what these are, and the only one liner. You can see right through there. That's where the liner lock is. It doesn't have two-sided liners. And that's just where you get that. Now, it does have some grooving in here, which was an attempt to kind of give you some traction, but this is really slick. It's basically like steel. You know, it'd basically be like a Kershaw leak or something like that. There's a little bit, the traction is really just in these two areas right here, which is awesome, and you're definitely not going to accidentally go sliding up. But it's just smooth the rest of the way, and just doesn't really do it for me in the sense of texture, but it does loop down like this and feels great in my hand. So when I'm holding it like this, it feels great in my hand. I wear large size gloves, and I definitely got plenty of room here when I'm choked up like that, and I kind of hold back here a little bit. Great in that sense. Moving on here to the pocket clip. Kind of got to step on it going along here today. Pocket clip, very strong, very large, super low ride, which a lot of people are going to love. I mean, look at that. That is some deep riding right there. That's as much as you're going to have sticking out of the knife. And very strong. I'm pulling really hard, but you know, really well designed. It's not sticking out. It's not Willy Wonka issues. It's not going to tear up your pocket. You know, if you're a guy, if you're wearing Dockers or dress pants a lot, this is a great knife to have. It's not going to tear up your pants. It just doesn't give you any options with the pocket clip. I would have loved to see at least tip up and then I'd be carrying this all the time. It does have only tip down, which isn't a deal breaker for me. I just would have really liked to see another option with the pocket clip there. It does have screws, so you can just use a Phillips head. You don't have to find some weird hex head or something like that to try and do it. Good lanyard hole there. You can get paracord through there. And those are the overall specs for this knife. Cool factor, I think it's awesome. It's super collectible. Absolutely. Enjoyment, oh yeah. You whip this thing out. This is, in my mind, super collectible. The quality is there. Super high-end. CRKT has definitely gone away from some of these options, and I really want them to go back to this. CRKT, if you're watching this video, go back to this type of design, this type of quality in your blades. I would love to see that. So enjoyment factor, absolutely. You're going to feel like you're just got a kind of a piece of history here. Again, this is over 12 years old and it's brand new. Never been used when I purchased it. And just overall, just an awesome EDC blade. You wouldn't regret it. So this is the Apache 2. It is made in Taiwan. Forgot to say that. Sorry, guys. It is made in Taiwan, but it is awesomely high quality ATS 34 steel. The Apache 2 by CRKT, discontinued for over 12 years now. If you can find one, pick it up. You won't regret it. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.